Okay, it's 2025. Raise your hand, virtually maybe, if you felt like you're just running on a treadmill this year. You know, you're taking in all the mindset stuff, setting goals, maybe getting fired up sometimes. But that big leap forward still feels kind of out of reach.
Yeah, like you're putting in the work, but something's not clicking.
Exactly. So here's a thought, maybe a bit brutal. What if the issue isn't exactly you, but more like your brain's wiring? Maybe it needs a bit of a 2025 fix.
And that's where we come in. Welcome, everyone, to the Deep Dive.
Yeah, welcome.
We basically sift through interesting sources, pull out the key insights, and try to make sense of it all for you fast.
And today's Deep Dive, we're tackling a giant, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich.
A classic for a reason.
Totally. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Old book, heard it all, but hang on. Hill has spent decades interviewing like over 500 massive successes. He dug deep into how they did it.
Right, these aren't just quick tips. These are fundamental principles.
And we're not just doing a book report here. Think of this more like a 2025 brain transformation plan.
Exactly. We're taking Hill's core ideas and asking, okay, how do these apply now? You know, with AI everywhere, digital overload, the pressure on creators, entrepreneurs.
Stuff you deal with every day.
Precisely. So our goal isn't just to tell you what to think.
Yeah.
We want to show you how to actually start rewiring your brain for like unbreakable focus in this crazy world.
Yeah, and maybe finally ditching that fear of putting yourself out there, taking bold action.
And building those, almost automatic success circuits. That's the dream, right?
It really is. So today we're focusing on 4, let's call them critical brain rewires for 2025, all inspired by Hill.
Let's dive in. Rewire number 1, definite aim. This is basically your brain's GPS for 2025.
Hill was so clear on this, wasn't he? Desire is the starting point, but it can't be just a vague wish. He called it a definite chief aim.
His whole thing was a weak desire brings weak results. Makes sense, right?
Totally. And it feels incredibly relevant right now. I mean, think about it. The noise level is insane.
Oh, yeah.
AI spitting out endless opportunities, the creator economy pulling you in it like 50 directions.
If you don't have that one clear, definite aim, your brain just defaults to scatter mode. Hello, burnout.
Right. Just vaguely wanting success or more money. It's just not specific enough to cut through in 2025. You need a precise target, something that hits you emotionally.
Your brain needs that clarity. It needs that really compelling target to filter everything else out. So, okay, how do we actually do this? Let's talk about the identity action plan for this rewire.
Okay, action step 1, the 1-sentence protocol. The idea is to craft 1 sentence, just one. That defines your primary non-negotiable professional goal for, say, the next 12 to 18 months.
And it has to be specific, not just make more money.
Right, so instead of like, grow my coaching business? Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
By December 2026, I will be a recognized authority in AI-powered marketing for soft companies, generating $250K in annual revenue. See the difference?
That specificity gives your brain clear instructions. Okay, part 2 of the plan. Morning aim imprint. This is cool. 5 minutes every morning. And this is key. Before you look at your phone, find a quiet spot. Repeat that sentence out loud with feeling. Really visualize achieving it. Feel the emotions.
It's like programming your brain first thing. And there's actually science here, right? It primes your reticular activating system, your RAS.
Exactly. Think of the RAS as your brain's internal filter or search engine. By focusing on your aim like this, you're telling it, hey, look for this, look for relevant opportunities, filter out the noise.
You're setting your intention for the day. Love that.
And the third part, the is this aligned? Filter. This is a habit. Before you jump into a new project, agree to a meeting, even consume some content. Ask yourself.
Does this directly help my 1-sentence aim?
Right. And if the answer is no, or not really, learn to say no politely or put it aside. It's like training your prefrontal cortex, your decision-making muscle, to stay focused.
You got to be ruthless with your attention. Think about someone like Alex Hormozy. You can just feel his definite chief aim, can't you? Everything he does seems focused.
Absolutely. That kind of focus in 2025, that's not just nice to have, it's crucial. Okay, on to rewire number 2. Faith and autosuggestion. This is about installing like success belief software.
Hill had that great line, didn't he? Faith is the head chemist of the mind. He believed that strong belief mixed with your thoughts basically sends a message to your subconscious.
And autosuggestion is the tool you use to consciously send that message. to program that belief.
Which is so needed now. Imposter syndrome is rampant.
Totally. You see AI doing amazing things, everyone's highlight reel on social media.
Yeah.
It's easy to feel like you're not enough. Your brain defaults to doubt to keep you safe.
So you can't just wait for external validation. It might never come, or it's fleeting. You have to build that faith internally. Otherwise, old subconscious doubts just sabotage you.
Exactly. So how do we install this belief software? Identity action plan time again. First, the evidence log habit.
Okay, what's that?
Simple. Every evening, just before bed, write down 3 things. It could be tiny things. 3 accomplishments from that day that moved you even slightly towards your definite chief aim.
Okay, so you're training your brain to notice progress, combating that negativity bias we all have.
Precisely. We tend to fixate on what went wrong. This helps you build a case file, basically, for your own success, a log of evidence.
I like that. Okay, next.
The future self auto-suggestion script. Get creative here. Record a short audio clip, maybe a minute, in your own voice, speaking as if you've already achieved your one-sentence aim. Describe how it feels, the impact you're making, the satisfaction, really get into it.
And then listen to it.
Yes. Listen every morning, maybe right after your AIM imprint, and definitely every night just as you're drifting off to sleep. You're bypassing your critical conscious mind and programming the subconscious directly, planting those belief seeds.
Okay, powerful. And the last part for faith.
The failure reframe query. Because let's be real, setbacks happen. When they do, instead of beating yourself up, immediately ask, okay, what data did this give me? Or how does this setback actually refine my path forward?
So it's not about pretending it doesn't suck.
Not at all. It's about training your brain to see failure as feedback, as information, not a dead end. That builds resilience like crazy.
You think of someone like Oprah. Her journey wasn't smooth, lots of setbacks, but that underlying faith in her vision, that resilience, she clearly built that internally, essential for navigating today's world.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, on to our third rewire, organized planning. This is about moving from brain fog and overwhelm to a clear execution blueprint.
Right, because Hill knew desire and faith weren't enough on their own. You need a plan, a concrete plan. And he was big on changing the plan if it wasn't working, right?
Absolutely. He called it making faultless plans, but the key was flexibility. If plan A fails, you don't quit. You make plan B. Keep going until something works.
Which is vital in 2025. Things are complex. You're juggling branding, AI tools, new business models. It's so easy to get stuck in analysis paralysis.
Or just overwhelmed with ideas, but no clear path forward. Your brain is flooded, but there's no channel for the energy. Organized planning creates that channel. It turns intention into action.
So how do we rewire for better planning? What's the action plan here?
First, the 90-day blueprint system. Take that big one-sentence aim and break it down. What absolutely has to happen in the next 90 days to make progress? Identify maybe 3 to 5 key projects or milestones, then break those down into weekly, even daily tasks.
So you're chunking it down, making the big goal feel less daunting and giving your brain immediate actionable steps.
Exactly, it makes it manageable. Second part, if-then contingency planning. For each of those key 90-day projects, think about maybe 1 or 2 likely obstacles.
Okay, like what?
Could be anything. A tech issue, a key client pausing, a change in the market. Then create a simple plan. If X happens, then I will do Y.
So you're pre-planning your response to problems. Like, if my main content AI tool goes down, then I'll switch to my backup plan using templates and manual writing for a day.
Precisely. It stops that panic response when things go wrong. Because you've already thought it through. You've preloaded the solution.
Smart. And the final piece.
The weekly Plan and Adapt session. This is non-negotiable. Set aside, say, 60, 90 minutes every week. Sunday night works for a lot of people.
And what do you do in that session?
You review your progress from the week before. You look at what worked, what didn't, any new data. And then you adapt your plan and map out the critical tasks for the next week. It's a ritual for staying agile and continuously improving.
It keeps the plan alive, basically, not just something you write once and forget. You can picture like a fictional 2025 founder, Sarah, launching her AI coaching app. She has the aim, she has the faith, but it's her organized plan, those 90-day sprints, the clear targets, the if-then for a potential server outage that lets her actually execute and adapt when inevitably things change. Without that structure, it's chaos.
Spot on. Which brings us to our fourth and final brain rewire, persistence. Forging those anti-quit neural pathways. Persistence. Hill said this was absolutely essential, didn't he? The key to transmuting desire into reality. He linked it to the power of will.
He did. He had that analogy comparing persistence to carbon and steel. It's the element that provides the strength, the toughness, the ability to withstand pressure.
And boy, do we need that in 2025. Burnout is a massive issue.
Huge. The constant pressure, the speed of change, comparing yourself to others 24/7, it makes wanting to quit feel, well, normal sometimes.
Yeah, and our brains are wired to conserve energy, right? Persistence is metabolically expensive. It takes real effort.
It really does. But the winners in 2025, they'll be the ones whose brains are wired to push through the difficulty, not run from it.
So how do we build that mental steel? The action plan for persistence.
Okay, first, the minimum viable action rule, MVA. On days you feel totally overwhelmed like you just can't.
We all have those days.
Absolutely. On those days, commit to doing just one tiny thing. One minimum action related to your 90-day blueprint. Send one email, write one paragraph, research for 10 minutes. So the point isn't the size of the action, it's just doing something, maintaining momentum.
Exactly. It trains your brain that showing up and taking action is non-negotiable, even when it's hard. It builds the habit of action over inaction.
Okay, MVA. Got it. What's next?
Anchor cause reinforcement. Connect your definite chief aim to something bigger than yourself, your why.
Like family, solving a big problem, leaving a legacy, that kind of thing.
Yes. Find that deeper reason. And when your persistence wavers, when you feel like giving up, consciously bring that anchor cause to mind. Write it down, keep it visible. It taps into a much deeper well of motivation than just, hitting a revenue target.
That makes sense. Taps into intrinsic motivation. Okay, and the last one for persistence.
0 days combined with a mastermind ally. This is the 2025 take on Hill's mastermind idea.
So having someone to check in with.
Pretty much. Find a trusted peer, a mentor, maybe just a friend who gets it, and commit to reporting your progress, even just your MVA for the day, to them regularly. Daily, weekly, whatever works.
Social accountability. That's powerful.
Incredibly powerful. Knowing someone else is expecting to hear from you often overrides that internal voice telling you to just skip it today. Make a no 0 days pact. You both commit to always doing at least that one small thing. It builds a really strong persistence circuit.
You think of athletes like Elon Musk even, with SpaceX and Tesla, the number of near failures. The persistence is just off the charts. Their brains seem wired to see failure as just more reason to persist.
That's the kind of wiring we're talking about. So as we wrap this up, the big takeaway really is that thriving in 2025 isn't just about working harder using old methods.
No, it really feels like it requires this fundamental brain transformation. Actively taking these timeless ideas from Hill and consciously rewiring how we think, how we operate for today.
You're not broken or flawed if you're struggling. Your brain might just be wired for, frankly, an outdated world. The people who will really succeed now are the ones actively building a brain that supports the future they want. They're rehearsing success internally.
So that definite chief aim.
Fueled by faith.
Guided by organized planning.
And powered by persistence. Those are the keys. Taking control of your brain, taking control of your destiny in 2025 and beyond.
Okay, so now let's make this real for you listening. We want you to think. What is one specific belief about yourself, or maybe your potential, that you are absolutely committed to starting to rewire this week, based on what we talked about?
Maybe it's about setting that definite aim finally, or starting that evidence log, or committing to an MVA.
Yeah, just pick one thing, and then we want you to declare it. Head over to our community or wherever you engage with us and share that one commitment. Making it public, even in a small way, makes it more real. That first step is huge.
It really is. And hey, if this deep dive gave you a new framework, maybe sparked some ideas for rewiring your own approach for 2025,
then definitely hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, and tap the notification bell. We'll be bringing you more deep dives like this, focused on building the mental architecture you need for future success.
Thanks so much for diving deep with us today.
It's been great.
Now go rewire.